When you are struggling with your faith, it can be difficult to try and share it with your kids, right? Like we want to protect them and keep them from harm. And sometimes our faith can hurt, right? That's a weird thing to admit, but it can. And this is why taking it to God is so important. But when it comes to our kids, they need to see us modeling faith, right? That's what the Bible tells us. Hi, Moses. Moses said that. It doesn't need to be performative or perfect or confident or anything like that. Because when we model a faith that is based on performance or perfection, we are giving them a version that is almost impossible to live up to. Instead, when we model our faith, we can show them that even in the moments where our faith is the size of a mustard seed, God is still good. Let's go. When something goes wrong, do you find yourself blaming God for it? Are you constantly looking up to the sky saying, God, really? When life gets hard, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Ash, mom of 2, wife, and completely obsessed with Jesus. I grew up believing I was a good Christian until watching my child suffer led to my faith unraveling. It wasn't until 2 a.m. in my son's hospital bed when I broke down, went to God honestly, and found he was unlike anything I had ever believed about him. If you are ready to find your faith, heal your image of God, and grow with him spiritually, then grab that cozy blanket, open your Bible, and let's ask him the hard questions together. Let's go God-seeking. What's actually the next step in your faith? Answer 4 quick questions and you'll know. Take the free quiz at BeMightyMom.com/quiz, and at the end, you'll know exactly where to start and have a free guide to walk you through the next step, all built around your answers. Get clarity on your next step with God at BeMightyMom.com/quiz. A few weeks ago, Maximus had a stream of doctor's appointments, and they always seem to line up together. I don't know why I do that to myself, but honestly, I think it actually might be easier because after a couple of weeks of crazy appointments, then we have a few months of it just being calm. And during one of the appointments that we had, we didn't get the best news. Not that anything new was actually happening. It was just a deeper understanding of what his life is going to be like. It was all consuming. And here I am talking to the doctor about this while also trying to distract Max and keep him happy and then take mental notes so I can update Mike on the way home and all the things. All I wanted to do was break down and cry. And we were walking out to the car. And he was struggling to walk, right? Like he does. Like he's in a wheelchair for the most part when we leave the house. But for short trips, I try to make sure that he's moving his muscles and moving his legs as much as he can. And we were walking out to the car. He was holding my hand. I picked him up to put him in his car seat, and I just looked at his face, and I could see the impacts of his disease. And it was heartbreaking. Honestly, it was. It was heartbreaking. But he could see me immediately. And I tried to break out of it. Like I tried to break out of it and just, change the subject. It was a Friday, so I was talking about what we were going to do over the weekend. But I was crying. And he looked up at me and he goes, Mama, are those happy tears? And I could have told him yes. Like I could have told him yes, but I decided to tell him the truth. And I told him no. But that's okay. It's okay to be upset. He reached out and wiped my tears away. And I told him I loved him and gave him the biggest hug, got him all buckled up and settled with a snack, and we were ready to head home. But I sat in that front seat and I just let myself feel my feelings for a moment. Now, with Max being autistic, he doesn't often let me listen to music in the car. Like, he just is so against it. He will, I can listen to podcasts, which is great, but I needed music. I needed it. And so I asked him if it would be okay because I needed Jesus. And he goes, oh yeah, I need Jesus too. So precious. So I put on one of my favorite songs, Praise by Elevation Worship. Literally, I can't even listen to the first second of it without crying. And then Can't Steal My Joy by Josiah Queen. And I just belted out and praised God, thanking him for a doctor who was helpful, even though I was experiencing a certain kind of heartbreak that I would never wish upon another soul. So in between praise and worship music and me crying out to God and praising him and singing, I would say only good things come from God. Because I needed to convince myself. I know it's to be true. I know it's true. But when you're walking through something so hard and unimaginable, you want to blame somebody. Why do we go to God? Why do we blame God when something bad happens? Good things come from God. Now, in that moment, while it might seem like I was hysterical and crazy, right? Like if anybody looked around and saw me driving, they'd be like, Lord, what is wrong with that woman? But Max saw me turn to God for comfort. And that is something I am not ashamed of. Because just that Saturday during swim lessons, which we unfortunately needed to pull Max from because of his mobility issues, So he no longer can take swim lessons. It's a whole other thing. But I asked him how his class went. I watched him and I could see him struggle and it just broke my heart. And he told me, I prayed above the water, not under though. And I broke down because he had been struggling in that class and he knew he could go to God in prayer. Giving our kids a God who is safe, loving, caring, and present is the job. It is the calling that was entrusted to us when God gifted us our children. And when we model that for our children, we are doing His work. So one thing this week, turn up that praise and worship music if your kids let you. Pray out loud. Pray with them. Even if your faith is the size of a mustard seed, you will show your kids that God is still present in it. And God is still good. When something catches you in the car, in the parking lot, wherever you are, don't hide it from your kids. Let them see you need Jesus. Because the kid who watches you turn to Him when your life is falling apart is the kid who will know exactly where to go when it's their turn. I need Jesus too. Maximus already knows.
Hi, I'm Maximus. Goodbye.
I hope this episode helped you feel closer to God and recharged in your faith. I pray it validated and healed you in ways you didn't think were possible. If it did, would you share this episode with another mom who needs it? It would mean the world to me too if you would leave a review. Talk to you soon, friend. Now, go be mighty, Mom.